This is the first known photograph of a pretty baby born in February of 1971 in Richmond, Virginia. She is 9 months old and spent those first months in the foster care system. Call it luck or divine intervention, but this child became part of the Reed and Gail Schweickert family. They gave her family, love, and membership in a 50-year HOF Jones dynasty. She got a name too, Susan. There was an older brother who had the same luck 3 years earlier. Stephen was enjoying his third birthday party when his new sister arrived. A sibling wasn't on his birthday list, but he went with it. Thus began the creation of a sweet melody of life for Susan. Music came to her early. She not only heard it, but sang it out loud, and she says she still does, especially in the car. Even before a career on the road for HOF Jones, there was travel to warm places, cold places, and places in between. The lines of work and family are blurred in the Schweickert family, a hard-working but wonderful way of life, says Susan. She watched her father inducted into the Hall of Fame, and going to the HOF Jones conventions is still a family affair. Reed wasn't the only star in the family either. Susan was performing on stage with her high school show choir and scoring points as captain of the tennis team. She also worked hard in the family business, stuffing envelopes and pitching in when needed. Graduation from Midlothian High School featured a rented HOF Jones cap and gown and an HJ ring. Next step was Mary Baldwin College, arriving in her new ride from Mom and Dad. A special moment was the Junior Dad's ring dance ceremony and another HOF Jones ring. Another special moment, a local pizza parlor introduced her to a fellow student, Jay Roudabush, and Jay was the first of two important men that would enter her life. The second was John Jones of HOF Jones Graduate Service in Cincinnati, and besides her dad, Susan's first boss. Before her college graduation ceremonies, Susan was on her way to Ohio to learn and work. Her parents moved her to her first apartment where, according to Susan, she learned the value of very hard work and the nuts and bolts of business. For 2 years, Jay would make the long commute from Virginia to Cincinnati to visit, and both were eventually able to celebrate college graduation with family. With sales school behind her, Susan's next trip was to the altar with Jay in July of 1996. By now, she was back in Virginia bringing computer and design skills to the family business. The wedding included a large contingent from her soon-to-be extended HOF Jones family. The honeymoon was in glamorous Las Vegas at the HOF Jones National Convention. Jay attended a number of meetings with his new father-in-law, and by the time the honeymoon ended, Jay was a member of the family business as well, and it didn't end there. Jay's mother, Roxy, is the office bookkeeper, and his dad, Everett, helps with getting the kids where they need to go. His sister, Missy, is their senior specialist. For Susan and Jay, HOF Jones provided a new circle of friends, including Max and Eileen Nieto of Miami. That friendship has become a very strong relationship. All friends and family were needed in January of 2000 when Susan was diagnosed with MS. Treatment dictated that she stay off the road, hooked to an IV in her home. So Susan opened an office in the kitchen. It was a long struggle, but she came through. By 2001, Susan celebrated the new year in Key West, pregnant with their first child. It turns out that pregnancy put MS into remission, so children were a big plus. Kemper Reed Roudabush arrived in April. Hayden Hunt Roudabush arrived in May of 2003. Kemper seemed to be having the same reaction Susan's brother had when she turned up. And in June of 2005, Berkeley Gail Roudabush arrived. Despite the benefits of keeping her MS at bay, the couple decided their family was complete. 3 kids and a business means all hands on deck, or on board in this case. The entire crew is going to the HOF Jones Convention in San Antonio, and with grandparents in New Orleans for Jay's Hall of Fame. Family fun includes Disney, the beach, and Diesel, the dog. In 2013, Jay and Susan moved to their riverfront farm when they began plans to build a new home. When Reed and Gail Schweickert were about to celebrate 50 years of marriage, they planned a unique celebration. They loaded the kids and grandkids into a van and headed across America, spending 3 weeks visiting national parks and moving from hotel to hotel. A trip of a lifetime for everyone. The next generation Herff Jones worker is already on the job too. Just like her mother before her, Berkeley is helping out at the office. Sort of. Close friends are there, extended family surrounds her, and she and Jay are still passionate about their work and each other. That melody of new life that sang to Susan as a baby has evolved into a symphony of love, family, success, and now, the Herff Jones Hall of Fame.
Good evening. I'm incredibly honored to be inducted into the Herff Jones Hall of Fame tonight. Together, my family and I and our team have been proudly representing Herff Jones in Central Virginia for more than 50 years. I was lucky enough to grow up in this business, and I want to tell you that story in order to thank so many of you who have made this evening a reality for me. You see, Herff Jones has been more than a business to me. Herff Jones is my family. There's no better company in this industry, and I'm grateful every day to be part of a team of dedicated and passionate people. My first employers, my greatest teachers, and my biggest fans are my mother and father, Gail and Reed Schweickert. My dad began his career with Herff Jones on January 1st, 1966. As a child, I can remember begging to go to work with him. I loved watching him take orders. At night, we'd sit on the floor at home and separate those tiny 2-ply ring order forms. I remember falling in love with the people and with the company. Those early relationships clearly played a large part in my ultimate choice of career path. My father originally hired me into the Herff Jones organization, and he let me stuff envelopes, lick stamps, and even clean the office. I didn't realize at that time that he was actually teaching me real-life skills. He was teaching me that what you get out of life depends upon what you put into it. I know now what important lessons those were. Thanks, Dad. Joe Slaughter gave me my first official real job at Graduate Service in Cincinnati, and I will forever be grateful for that break. I then somehow convinced John Jones, one of Herff Jones' all-time most successful salesmen, to take on a 21-year-old trainee with a resume that read professional envelope stuffer. John was my mentor, investing time and energy in me. He told me that this business is not rocket science, just hard work. He taught me that sales is really about personal relationships, and he taught me to treat the custodial staff with the same amount of respect as the principal. He inspired me to honor my promises and be diligent with follow-through. I've used those lessons every day. Along the way, I've received constant guidance, love, and incredible support from Jeff Parker, who I will truly miss working with. I've learned to work hard and play hard from members of the TOMS organization. I've been supported by the hard work of our associate, Thomas McDonald, who has now himself become a successful sales rep for Herff Jones. I'm fortunate to be surrounded by a fabulous office staff, all of whom elevate our customers' experience with pride. Our newest addition, our general manager, Christy, is no exception to that rule. Love and gratitude to my in-laws, Roxy and Everett, for all your help inside and outside of the office. And a special thank you to my sister-in-law, Missy, for working alongside me every day. On a purely personal note, I am so fortunate to have Eileen and Max Nieto as best friends. Thanks. To my beautiful children, Kemper, Hayden, and Berkeley, you've literally grown up in the office just like your mom did. You three bring me smiles and laughter and remind me every day about what is really important in life. I love you, and I'm very proud of each of you. Saving the best for last, I want to recognize my husband, Jay. Being business partners was never really our plan. It just happened that way. Jay, you're my best friend, my better half, and an amazing father to our 3 children. You've never made me choose between being a mom and being in business. You've always put in the extra hours so that I could spend more time with the kids, and because of you, I've truly had the best of both worlds. You are my personal daily inspiration. Jay, I love you. Cheers to all of you, to the many great years we've had together, and to our bright future with Herff Jones.
Please welcome Susan Schweickert Roudabush to the Herff Jones Hall of Fame.